have planned. All right, awesome. So what I have planned for us today is I figured I had this moment today. First of all, I keep looking in when I'm talking and like I'm getting older. And so like my face is doing this. But I was like, is that like a chin? And I was making these weird faces on FaceTime last night with Owen. We had look at, see? Well, I've also feel like I haven't really gained that much weight, but I've lost a lot of tone. So today I had this moment where I woke up, I'm hungover. It's noon. I have to go pick up my kids in a couple hours. Like I didn't wake up at noon. I woke up at 10. Tasha tried to sing to me at 7:50. She's like, it's 7 in the morning. Actually, it's not, it's 7:50. But I had this moment where like I've given myself so much grace this year, and I still need to, because what's going on inside of me is so much that I have to give myself grace. But what I've realized is that I've given myself so much grace that it's been a good thing. It's actually serving me in the fact that I feel like I've rested in some areas that now I'm ready to just like, boom, come out of like, I'm ready. I'm ready for a new fitness goal, a new transformation. I don't want this going on. I don't know why this is happening. That's like the worst. You can always, you know who says this? Who says it? Deborah? It's either Deborah or Carly. They're like, you can always tell a woman's age, no matter if she gets like Botox or anything, you can always tell a woman's age by her neck. Like, what the you saying about necks over here? But it's true. Like we get these things going. Anyway, I'm not going to point it out anymore, but that's where I'm at. So I just like felt like this energy today, even in my lack of energy, to like, enough is enough. I want to feel completely different next year. Like I want to feel not like, oh man, I really need to lock it in here. I really need to lock it in there. And Amanda and I were talking last night, and it's like every year we're like, okay, we are pushing, like this is what we're doing this year. And we'll be like on for a month and then we kind of backpedal, because you need to breathe, on for a month and then you kind of backpedal. And I was like, that's just not, it just doesn't work well. And I really want to do what I recommend every coach to do when they start. And what they say is like, show up consistently for 1 year, keep your foot down and like see what happens. And I show up consistently all the years, but I'll tell you what I do. This is my reflection. And I'll tell you what I do. When I'm motivated, I work every day, and I work for a few hours every day. I don't stop. I don't give myself a Sunday off. I don't give, like when I'm motivated and I'm working every day because that's what I'm doing. And then I burn out. And then I like don't work for a few days, and then I like dabble a little bit, and then I come back and I burn out again. And so Amanda and I were like, we're going to hold each other accountable to showing up like we did when we started this business, which was Monday through Saturday. And we will honor the Sunday off, right? But show up, or Monday through Friday, whatever it looks like for us, but in a way that we can say in a way that we can sustain. And I think that's what happens in a new year is we come out with all this motivation, but we start and we do something that's not sustainable for the year long term, So I want to make sure that I set a pace. That's weird. Your text messages from earlier are coming into my computer right now, Tasha. I know. It's like, I don't know why I'm skeptical. That text, I'm like, why are you skeptical? What am I saying? Oh, that was from earlier. But I like, it needs to be sustainable for the year, because I truly need to, but also really, really want to have transformations in every space that I can. And it's only going to come with something that is doable. I always bite off. I don't know if you guys are like this. I get excited about a goal and I set it, and then I say I'm going to do all this, and then I have I have trouble delivering like fully. Like I'll show up, but I can under deliver after a while. And And it's hard. And it's because I set the bar so high that I'm never going to maintain that. And so, what I wanted to do today is just take a few minutes to set some goals for what we want to see. It can be one sentence, it can be whatever. I wrote down 6 different areas of our life. So, we're going to set down some goals for the entire year first. And then after we do that, we are going to break it down and just say, if that's what we want to do for the entire year, what should that look like mid-year? And what should that look like first quarter? And so what does January look like? So we're reverse engineering that so that we can really know, well, if that's what I want in my family, if that's what I want in my relationship, if that's what I want in my finances, if that's what I want in my business in a year, then January, this is what it needs to look like. Because does anyone else ever experience, like, you have 12 weeks to do something? So you kind of all of a sudden you're like, shit, I have 5 weeks. Let me get this all done. Like Natasha and I are going through that with some certifications we're trying to get through right now. There's no like, it's like we have to give ourselves some sort of expectation. Otherwise, the month goes by so fast. And then we're like, oh, the first quarter's gone. We're halfway through the year. And I said I wanted this year. And but are my actions matching it? And sometimes we think it has to be this huge, big action, but it doesn't. It's just the small, consistent things that we do over time without the burnout, right? So I really want that to be that's really important for me this year. It's really important for me in many, many ways. And I really want to, I feel like this team needs a huge rebuild. Like we used to have like 20 people on every call at least, and like I think it's the time change and the time of year and then COVID and everyone's sick and all these things. It's really started to dwindle, and it's like I really want all of us to just, however it serves us, I just really want to rebuild and introduce in new people that just want to have this sustainable. What I'm thinking of right now is the analogy of job one. It's 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Who can really say they can't do that? That's like our goals. We can get big results and not have to kill ourselves with expectations and whatever. So, anyway, so that's that. So I want to give us a few minutes right now. I'll type it in the chat what we're going to do. So we're going to do family, social. So a year goal for your family, for your social life, for your finances, for your spirituality or your faith, for your business, and for your relationship. So I'll type that in here. I'm going to put music on, but if it like is cutting in and out, just tell me and I'll turn it off. This is a little bit scary. All right. And as you finish that up for the year, go ahead and just think, if I said that this is what I want for the end of the year in this space, what does mid-year look like for me in these areas? And some of them might be easy. Like for me, for social, I put that I have a monthly fun night out with friends. And I also want to do more team stuff, like random team dinners, just any like social things. So what does that look like mid-year? So I'm probably going to say, well, monthly, I already wrote that out, so I don't even need to say anything about that. But maybe I've already had 2 team dinners by mid-year, one in Michigan and one in Illinois or whatever. So just kind of what does that look like mid-year? Hi, Andrea. So then as you guys are finishing up with the mid-year, you can go ahead then and do that first quarter. So end of March. All right, and as you finish up the first quarter, you're then going to take it to January. Oops. Okay, so then as you're finishing that up too, so now I added fitness in too. Once I got going, I realized that I wanted that to be one of the things under family, social, all of that. So I added fitness in as well. So we've set our goals for the year in these areas. We've reversed engineered them to where we should be mid-year, quarterly, or first quarter, and then January. Now, for me, I'm going to go ahead and write what my week should look like in January then. So if that's my goal in January, so then you reverse engineer that. You don't have to do that. For some people, that's too much. And that's not, and you like to maybe do that like the Sunday before each week, because I do like to do that too. But for just me to kind of know what my weekly goal looks like, and kind of write that down more specific for my business, like, you know, enroll at least one customer, preferred customer, or coach a week. Like that's important to me. And like, really, if I'm doing that, it's not about me doing that. It's not about me making money or bringing people in necessarily. But if I make that a goal, then it means my action has to match. Like I have to be doing more of not more, but I have to be consistent in my sharing and my inviting and getting creative in those ways. So I'm going to go ahead and reverse engineer the week. And basically, I'm only going to do that for my business. I'm not going to do that for the other areas because I don't feel like for family and all of that, I guess I could, but maybe it was a good thing because I'm trying to pay off half my debt next year. And so it would be like, how much do I have to pay off each week or what do I want to set aside? So that is a good thing. So just for whatever you think serves you. And we'll do this. We'll probably take about 5 more minutes. About 2 more minutes. And then I'm just putting in the chat my business goals for year end just to share them and put them out. I'm not going to say everything that I wrote down everywhere else, but if you guys want to do the same thing, I always think that's a good thing to, um, say what you're going for in your business. And for some of you, it might be like, stay consistent on myself. You might have that year that I had this year of like, just don't fall apart. And for others, it might be like, okay, it's go time. I'm going to figure out what's different. I'm going to figure, I want to reach this certain rank or the certain income amount or whatever that is. All right, I see some still writing, so I'm going to say keep going then. We'll give it a couple more minutes. Spa music makes me ready for bed.
I love you always forever.
How'd you guys do? Good? I'm not trying to interrupt because I feel like when you can get in goal setting mode and really flow, like you kind of got to let that happen, you know? Okay, I was gonna say, sorry, Haley. I know you were like, are we please doing an action hour tonight? But I felt like we just really could use some time to like look ahead and be excited and like also just remind ourselves by writing it down this way how doable it is, and remind ourselves like the actions that are important and what is enough. Because if you're anything like me, this business can make you feel like it's never enough. Like you always feel like you can do more, but there has to be a shut off point. There has to be, I did enough today. I did great today. Like it's not every day. You don't just do more. And I think that's when that burnout happens, you know? So, I really think that with the job one coming out, it's such a huge, it's so huge because it's a 20-minute workout, and Transform 20 changed everything for me after having Oliver, because it was the first program that I could actually do and not find an excuse for. And it was because of the 20 minutes. Like I did programs, but they would take me so long, kind of like 6:45. That's the end of me. I still haven't finished. I just don't like it either. When I don't like it, I have a hard time. But I'm almost done. But like with Transform 20, it was like, you know, I didn't love it, but it was 20 minutes and I could do that every day. I could find 20 minutes. And that's exactly with job one. So what does that do? I want you to think of what that does. Like it gives you something to celebrate. It shows you how you can follow through. At the end of the day, the biggest thing that any of us struggle with are trusting ourselves with follow through for what we say we want. And like, can we actually do that? You know, it's that belief, it's that follow through, it's that trusting ourselves. So something small like job one can come along and show you and help you celebrate all the ways in which you can. And it's just bite size. And so this is taking that goal, on my blank piece of paper, it's written in my notebook. This was my to-do list for this week. This right here that we just did, you know, what that does is it takes it, because it seems big, right? And it gives it to us in bite-sized pieces. You basically just created your own job one program for your personal goals that are bite-sized, that you can celebrate, that you know what you have to do to get there. And it's gonna, like, I almost feel like, hi.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Sure.
Okay. What's up? I think she's here until 9 or 9:30. Why don't you ask her what time? Why? What do you want? You want to say hi? I'm finishing up here in a minute. Okay. All right. You want to say hi? What? Say hi then. Well, Owen's waving to all of you.
Hi.
Do you know anybody?
Yeah.
Natasha. He's just pointing at you.
Natasha, and
Mhm.
that's it.
And that's all you recognize. That's Haley. That's Stacy.
Mhm.
That's Andrea.
Okay.
And this is an iPhone.
Now peace out.
All right, peace out, brother. Thanks for hanging out.
Brother from another mother.
Brother from another mother. But that is exactly it, is what it helps you just get into this space of, we need 2022. All, like, my goal is for myself and for all of you to always feel enough, like you've done enough, like you are enough, like you have enough time, you know. And I really think that with job one and with laying it out like this too, it just gives us that ability to have some celebrations, like, and really, I think if there's anything that I can do too, is really focus on celebrating. Like when I look at this and I see that weekly at my house, I want to declutter one area a week. That's not hard. But when I'm like, oh my gosh, this whole house, like I can't do it, right? But if I declutter one area a week, that's perfect. It'll take 1 hour a week, like not a big deal. But every time I do that, it's important for me, you, anyone, to mentally celebrate that. Not looking around, looking at all the areas you need to do and you're just not able to get to. And oh my gosh, if my kids could just go away for a minute, right? But saying, I said I'd do one a week and I just did it. I'm on track for end of year. I don't need to do everything else right now, you know? And so just really like, I love that, and really, really focusing on celebrate. So my word for 2022 is going to be celebrate. I think that there's a lot of areas in my life that for a very long time, I've been having a hard time feeling enough. And like, you know, like I'm really like crushing anything. And I think it's because I'm starting to get burnt out and I look at come from a place of lack. So I want you guys to think of one word. If you could think of one word to sum up what 2022 is going to be for you, or what motivates you, or whatever it is, I want you to think of one word and put it in the chat. So last year, mine was intention in what I did. And I will tell you that I followed through on that. I didn't in the way I thought I would, but I've been very intentional and present in other things and that were important. And so I like that. So this year, mine is celebrate. Success. Yes. Follow through, see results. Here we go. See, I sing too, just not until nighttime when you want to go to bed. You sing to me when I'm like, it's 7 a.m, be quiet. And then you're like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, what are you doing? You add to your list a win list every night of wins from the day. Ooh, that's good. I love that. I love that. What other words do we got? Anyone? Something else that I really love is sometimes I'll make like a yes list, things that I can say yes to that serve me in going to where I am, because where I want to go, because I can sometimes say yes to all these things, but they're really not serving me for what my focus is. I have to say no. Sometimes it's hard to say no, right, Natasha? I have a hard time saying no. To some things. Joy. I love that. Joy. Focus on the good, even small. Yes, I love it. Focus. Do the first things first. Focus on the things that matter most. I love that too. Awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. So I was going to maybe end with some invites, but I really just feel like we have such this space of like positivity and peace. And like, it'd be really fine to jump into like this action oriented invite for 5 to 10 minutes, but I feel really good ending it without doing that tonight. I hope none of you are offended by that. I just think like we really need to take this feeling of being enough and getting organized and having some clarity and getting excited and setting intentions. Like we have to let that settle and let us really like hold that before we shake it up, you know? Haley's writing something. I'm excited. Cute glasses, by the way.
I'm just going to talk. Okay. Basically, my word's connection. So like with what's present, and I think make connections with like, as far as business, like with the ones that seem to want to engage with me and like follow through with those connections. And not leave that until because I have this like week 1, week 2, week 3, like of goals of each of my months. And my first week goal of the month is like have all of my like combo salad in the first week. So those are like, that's going to be like my connection week.
Yeah.
So that's so business wise. So my word's connection.
Yeah. I love that. I really like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Andrea. There you are. I don't know who the iPhone is, but hi. Does anyone know? No. Okay. Awesome. I love that. So I think it's wonderful. I'm really glad that we got on here tonight. I want you to, if you're anything like me, see, I'm like, we just did this, and then we can close this book and not look at it again. That's not going to serve us. So I want you to make sure that you take this and put it somewhere where maybe when you open, like I might tape it into my notebook, like, cause it's in my journal. I might take it out and tape it on the inside of my notebook. So when I open up to work, I see this every day, like somewhere you're going to see it. That for me, I don't want to put it on my wall. Like Christina always used to have these big poster boards like all over her wall, but she has like an office and all that, right? And so I'm like, sometimes I struggle with where to put it. So I think I'm going to tape mine in my work notebook that I use for every day, so then I can see it, because it's important that we revisit it. And I would like to revisit this, so keep it after, at the end of January, we can look at it again and be like, okay, so do we need to adjust anything? How did this go? At the end of the first quarter, we can look at it again. So make sure that you keep this in a space where we can access it all year, because we are doing it. Whatever you wrote down, we're doing it. I'm excited. All right, I love you. That's all I got. That's all I got. I think I have a babysitter for, I think Owen just bribed her to stay for 30 more minutes. I don't know. I'm going to clean up a little bit and call it a night and sleep. It'll be good. Let's take a boomerang, shall we? Does anyone have anything they wanted to share? Okay. All right, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay. Oh, Andrea just got a blink and a. All right, I love it. I'll tag you guys. I hope you have a great night. Thanks for doing this with me today. If I were you, and this is what I'm going to do also in the morning for my meditation, I'm going to do something with that. I actually think I shared it. Did we share that one? We did New Year intentions meditation, right, Natasha? For the thing, I'm going to share a meditation in the team page and in our thread, where you can like do this tomorrow with all of these things that you said, like maybe look at this and then do that meditation, whether it's in the morning or night or whatever. I know Natasha likes to meditate at night, and then just kind of let all of this resonate. I will tell you that when I can silence everything and meditate on something like this, my entire journal that will be done this month, I literally wrote after a meditation in my journal. Like the format of it and everything, like so much comes to you and you get so much clarity and you get so much just power when you can shut down everything else and really listen. Like we pray and talk to God all the time, but do we listen to him and to whatever else we're supposed to receive? Like sometimes we don't listen. So doing that, reading through what you said today, and then doing this meditation that I'll share, which is on like intentions for the new year, might just help you to maybe hone in on some other areas or add something to it or adjust something as well. So I'll share that. I love you. And I hope you have a great night. Bye.